So I will give you 3 tries to guess what I'm sitting in. No, it is not a contraption where one was beheaded, thankfully. 2, it may look like a confession box, but it's not. 3, believe it or not girls, this is one of the very first saunas. And who says getting pampered was glamorous?
And once I got out of the door, Enniskillen's Castle Museum's latest exhibition proved to be a treasure trove. Behind every corner was a new fascinating artefact to be discovered. Curator Catherine Scott took Fermanagh TV on a tour of the exhibitions and explains why Enniskillen truly is a model town.
This particular exhibit is probably one of my favourites, which is probably why I was happy to spend a good hour of my life cleaning it. And it's a fan light from Wellington Place, which was demolished to allow for the bypass at the back of the town here in Enniskillen. Wellington Place was actually referred to as Eldon Place during the 1830s, but the name Wellington stuck more firmly to it. And it was 2 rows either side of the street of beautiful Georgian houses, probably the finest houses in the town at the time, only then superseded or surpassed by the houses in Wellington Place in the 1840s. One of the things, I suppose, now you look at it in a historical perspective, if somebody came to knock down the same set of buildings now, there would be uproar. But at the time, I suppose these issues weren't as current as they are now, and the houses were demolished to make way for a road and a car park. This is one of the photographs taken by Emma, one of our young friends here at the museum. And it was actually taken, believe it or not, in January of this year amongst all the snow and really bitterly cold weather. But they went out one morning as a group with Stephen Hetherington, who's a local photographer, and she captured this beautiful sort of image, if you like, from underneath the East Bridge. The light is fantastic and it looks to me almost continental. It could be bridges, you know, the arches of bridges anywhere really in Europe, but it is in fact Enniskillen, early January 2011, and taken by a young girl who'd never really taken photographs before, and I think it captures something really special. The images behind me here of the Fort Hill, of the bandstand in Fort Hill, are actually they're sort of a compare and contrast, if you like, of what it was like then and what it's like now. The bandstand was built actually as a sort of a memorial to commemorate Thomas Plunkett, who was the chairman of the town commissioners and responsible for laying out the Fort Hill. And it has survived. It's wonderful, and it's sort of, you know, as I would sort of refer to it, sometimes the time stands still. The clock doesn't work in it. I don't know how long it is since the clock worked in it, but it remains the same. The Lawrence photograph depicts it beautifully with kids playing and really sort of beautifully Victorian prams and pushchairs. It's referred to, I think, by Nixon as it's sort of like as a little slice of Brighton, possibly the finest of its type in all of Northern Ireland. Come up the stairs then, and really here on the stairwell in the museum in the Heritage Centre we have some of the old street signs from Enniskillen, from streets long gone, hopefully not forgotten. I would imagine, yes, 40 years really since any of these streets signs were actually hanging in the street where they stood, in the street of houses. And thankfully, some time ago when the museum was established, they were actually donated to us. So we have, if you like, a strong collection of these street signs of streets long gone, demolished to make way, as we said earlier on, for all kinds of developments in the town. So it's probably the first time that people have the chance to see them in a very long time. So the piece behind me then is by Kathleen Bridle, who was a local artist and is dated 1947. It's called A Fair Day, and obviously at that time there were huge cattle fairs in Enniskillen. The wonderful thing about this picture is obviously the movement of cattle and men about what was around the jail square area. You can see the Boer War Memorial in its original place. If you look carefully behind, you can see the Enniskillen railway station still standing, still being used, and also you can see the old county infirmary, which is now obviously the nursing home. So there's wonderful clues and tantalising wee bits and pieces which sort of give us a brief sort of glimpse, a snapshot if you like, of what Enniskillen was like during a fair day in 1947. This is a 3D representation, a very accurate representation of Enniskillen as it would have been in 1834, based really on an Ordnance Survey map of 1833. It details streets down to individual buildings, into sort of outhouses, small boats, the toilets, all sorts of things are detailed on it. It's wonderful because it shows us how Enniskillen was in 1834. It's wonderful because it shows us what has changed, what stayed the same, and importantly things that aren't even on this. For example, the railway station isn't on the map, well, because it didn't exist, and nor does it exist now. So it's wonderful sort of in terms of representing Enniskillen, giving people a chance to debate, to discuss, and to see what was there at the time. We can see clearly the streets that are gone. We can see the back streets clearly here in 1834. We can see Wellington, the beautiful houses again gone, Frith's Alley's gone, New Row's gone, so many, Paget Square, so many of the wonderful houses, communities which have been, if you like, demolished to make way for all types of development are all here obviously in 1834. It's a fantastic learning tool. From my perspective as education officer, it's a fantastic teaching tool in terms of examining the development of towns and of course the plantation in itself.
The exhibitions run until May 30th. For more information you can contact Catherine on 028 66 325 000. Aislinn, Hagan, Fermanagh TV.